So one of the most commonly asked questions people ask me in my workshops and classes is, Karen, why can't I get a manufacturer's rep to represent me? Or what am I doing wrong? I need to find a manufacturer's rep. I need someone to sell my product to these stores. And I'm having so much trouble. And it's like, what is that? I need to make this happen. And so this is probably one of my favorite questions, because most people don't realize that if you look at it from the manufacturer's rep's perspective, it's very different than what the product companies are thinking about. So as a manufacturer's rep, we have a really strange industry, right? Where it's the sales reps, the manufacturer's reps are ultimately people who are mostly working on commission. And so that's not so common in other industries. And so if you're only working on 100% commission, what you want is products that have already been selling, that or has like a really interesting selling proposition, or there's something really badass about it that they can ultimately streamline that process in stores really fast, right? Makes sense. I mean, otherwise you don't want to do the work. It's too much work. It's a lot of heavy lifting. The problem with product companies is that they're usually created by engineers or creative types or people who hate selling with a passion, right? So they create this awesome product and then they assume that someone else is going to do all the work for them. Well, the problem is that you don't have a proven product and it's not selling anywhere, or it has been selling but not that much, or there's something going on there where the sales rep ultimately looks at it or looks at you and says, I don't know if I'm going to make a lot of money here. And so that's why they're probably avoiding you. I mean, there's obviously lots of other reasons why a manufacturer's rep might not want to work with you, but ultimately it's either they think you might be a little crazy. Sorry, but it does happen sometimes when you're really obsessed with your product. You get a little crazy, and these sales reps smell that, and they don't want any part of it. Or it's that maybe they don't believe that your product is proven, or you're coming at them in a way where you're like, I don't want to sell this thing. You go to handle it, and a lot of times people don't want to run someone else's business for them because it shows that they're not serious. And so the ones that have actually gone out, who have a product and have gone out and started selling to stores themselves, or have really understood the retail industry, done a bunch of research, those are the ones that the manufacturer's rep will risk working with. Does that make sense? And so ultimately, what that means for you is that if you're not willing to do any of the dirty work in the beginning, then a lot of times the manufacturer's reps aren't really that interested in working with you. And so that's why I teach what I teach, because a lot of times with Retail MBA, it'll get to a point where people have these great products, they have thousands of units in their garage, but they're ultimately not selling anything because the manufacturer's reps aren't helping them, but it's because they didn't do any of the work and the reps don't want to help them either. So to help yourself, learn how to do it yourself, do some stuff that you might not like initially just to get going, start selling it. Maybe it might not be your retail. There's all sorts of ways to make money with the product, but ultimately start showing revenue, and then the manufacturer's reps will be more inclined to work with you. So I hope that helps.